Antonio Vivaldi's Four Seasons is an icon of classical music. Just think of all the furniture store commercials and movies where the spring theme is used as a kind of acoustic billboard, letting us know that what we're seeing is a classy place. But the Four Seasons have earned this durability and longevity. Each of the 12 movements is catchy, clever, and concise, and I've never met a violinist who didn't love to play it. Now that we've shifted into fall, and fall seems to be rapidly shifting into winter, I thought I'd share 4 of my recommendations for listening to the Four Seasons. These are all new and pretty exciting takes on the classic violin concertos. First, let's head south to Buenos Aires. What you're hearing is Astor Piazzolla's The Four Seasons of Buenos Aires, a work in 4 movements orchestrated for solo violin and strings. This is his summer movement, or Verano Porteño. You don't need me to tell you that this is a modernization of Vivaldi. The tango beats make this a toe tapper in a way that Vivaldi couldn't have even had on his radar. But there's something really clever that most people will miss the first time around. Listen carefully to the orchestra in the background. Sound familiar? Here's the first movement of Vivaldi's Winter. If you're keeping score, this is Summer from the Four Seasons of Buenos Aires. So why is Piazzolla quoting Vivaldi's Winter in his summer movement? Because Buenos Aires is in the southern hemisphere and the seasons are reversed. Aha! That was sneaky and clever. Next up, what if you took Vivaldi's Four Seasons and left the violin altogether? Let's play a little round of Guess That Instrument. With all that thundering from the bellows and lightning-fast playing, you may be thinking that this is a pipe organ. You're close, but wrong. This is actually an accordion. I found this gem of a video on YouTube a while ago, and I've been listening to it periodically for months. If you do a search for extreme accordion skills and presto, you should find it pretty easily. It's fantastic to listen to, but the video is also worth watching. For one, the accordionist has, as the title might suggest, extreme skills. But he's also kind of funny to watch. He's more than a little bit awkward, but at the same time he's fully invested in his performance. You've got to check it out. The piece that he's playing is the Presto from Vivaldi's Summer. That same movement was the inspiration behind one of my favorite tracks from Max Richter's recent album on the Deutsche Grammophon label. The album is called Recomposed by Max Richter, Vivaldi, The Four Seasons. For this album, he's taken Vivaldi's Four Seasons apart note by note and put it back together into a post-minimalist, almost post-rock masterpiece. You can hear that Richter is borrowing wholesale the basic motivic ideas from Vivaldi, but listen to this new violin melody he lays on top of it. It's extraordinary. Richter takes music that is so familiar and gives us a new point of entry so that we can experience it fresh. This is no small accomplishment. Let's take a listen to what he's done to the most familiar first movement. In this first movement of Spring, I think Vivaldi was always hinting at birdsong. But here the idea is inescapable. Richter has taken out the most iconic melody, the dun-dun-dun-dun-da-da-dum, and left us with all the intricacies of the rest of Vivaldi's orchestration, plus a nice 21st century bass line beneath it. Okay, for my fourth and final recommendation for the Four Seasons, let's look at a recording that isn't a recomposition or a reorchestration. It's all of Vivaldi's original notes for the original instruments, but with a bit of extra flair. The recording is the group Europa Galante performing the Seasons on the Virgin record label. But before we turn to them, let me play you just a run-of-the-mill recording of the beginning of Winter. This is soloist Laura St. John. Now, this isn't bad. It builds in intensity. St. John is doing some interesting things with a bow technique, as in she's playing very close to the bridge. And then she leads into a fairly clean and well-executed solo. But let's now listen to that same segment from Europa Galante's recording. Okay, the tempo is significantly faster, and the harpsichordist is taking some liberties with the continuo part, but so far it's not a huge difference. Bam! The liberties that they take with timing and volume make them sound more like Baroque rock stars than stuffy chamber musicians. And I commented on Laura St. John's bowing technique, but come on! Doesn't this just sound like ice cracking? The other thing I love about this recording is the way they have the harpsichord and the basses mic'd and equalized. It sounds like the basso continuo that destroyed Tokyo. It sounds huge, and they bring that rock star aesthetic to every single movement of the Seasons. So, in sum, here are my 4 recommendations for listening to Vivaldi's Four Seasons. The first, The Four Seasons of Buenos Aires by Astor Piazzolla. The YouTube video called Extreme Accordion Skills that has the presto from Summer. The Deutsche Grammophon album recomposed by Max Richter, Vivaldi The Four Seasons. And finally, for a more or less straight recording, Europa Galante's recording of The Four Seasons on the Virgin record label. The great thing about Vivaldi and all of these recordings is that they're always in season. This is Michael Wyatt for BYU Radio.